The stars looked calm above Earth. For centuries, humans had watched the sky, wondering if someone else was out there. Many believed in friendly visitors. Some dreamed of peaceful talks, knowledge, and shared worlds. But when the strangers finally came, they did not come for peace. They came to hunt. The aliens were not explorers. They were predators. For thousands of years, they had moved from one world to another, searching, chasing, killing. Every new planet was a trophy ground, every new species a target for their endless hunger for dominance. They saw life only as prey. And Earth? Earth was next on their list. Their arrival was not sudden. At first it was quiet. Strange lights in the sky, whispers among scientists, blurry images captured by satellites. Many dismissed them as errors, tricks of the atmosphere, or just imagination. But the truth became clear on one cold night when the first alien ships appeared above Earth's orbit. They were enormous, black like shadows against the stars, shaped like long blades cutting the darkness. Their presence was not hidden. They wanted the world to see them. Fear was their first weapon. All around the globe, panic spread. Governments called emergency meetings. Ordinary people looked up at the sky and prayed. The news channels filled with breaking updates, shaky camera footage of glowing ships above cities. But the aliens did not speak. No demands, no warning. They only watched. And then the first strike began. A small town vanished in a flash of light. No explosion, no fire, just gone. The aliens tested their weapon on human soil, erasing thousands of lives in an instant. For them, this was not war. This was sport. The next days were filled with terror. Alien creatures were released from their ships, hunting in forests and deserts. They looked strange, like a mix of armored insects and wild beasts, created for one purpose only: killing. These hunters tore through animals, soldiers, even machines of war. To the aliens, it was just another game. For humanity, it was horror. But something unusual began to happen. The aliens expected screams and surrender. They expected humans to scatter and hide like frightened prey. But instead, they saw something they had never seen before. They saw resistance. In the ruins of destroyed towns, survivors gathered. Soldiers armed themselves with whatever weapons they had. Hunters from the forests, fishermen from the seas, even students and farmers, everyone stood together. Humans had always fought among themselves, but now, against this greater threat, they became one. Still, the aliens did not worry. They had hunted thousands of species. They had ended civilizations far more advanced than humans. Why should this small blue planet be any different? But Earth was different. The first signs of human defiance shocked the invaders. In South America, a group of villagers lured one of the alien beasts into a narrow canyon. Using fire, traps, and sharpened steel, they killed it. Not with advanced weapons, but with courage and clever planning. When the alien masters saw the dead creature, they laughed at first. But deep inside, something unsettled them. In Asia, fighter jets launched daring attacks, weaving between alien ships, dodging beams of energy. Many jets were destroyed, but a few managed to damage an alien craft. For the first time in centuries, the hunters felt the sting of being hunted. And in Africa, old tribes who had once hunted lions and elephants now turned their ancient skills against the alien beasts. With spears, fire, and teamwork, they struck back in ways the predators never imagined. Everywhere, small victories grew into larger ones. And with every act of defiance, a message spread. Humans are not prey, but the aliens did not stop. They came in larger numbers, striking harder, burning cities and hunting across continents. They wanted to break human spirit before it could rise too high. Yet every attack brought something new. Humans learned. They adapted. They studied alien weapons, alien patterns, alien weaknesses. Unlike the other species the predators had crushed before, humans refused to give up. In the darkness of underground bunkers, human scientists worked without rest. In the wild fields, survivors crafted weapons from scraps. In every corner of Earth, the same thought burned inside every heart: we will not be hunted. The alien commanders began to sense something they had never felt before. It was not fear, they had never known fear, but it was close, a strange sharp unease, because for the first time they wondered, had they chosen the wrong planet? The sky above Earth was no longer calm. It was filled with fire, smoke, and war. The hunters had come with arrogance, certain that humans would fall like every species before them. But Earth was not just another world. Earth had teeth, and soon the hunters would learn that the greatest mistake they had ever made was choosing humans as their prey. The hunters thought humans would break. They believed fear would crush resistance. But what they did not understand was that fear in humans often turned into something stronger: anger, unity, and the will to fight. At first, humanity looked weak. Alien ships floated high above the atmosphere, armed with weapons far beyond anything humans had built. Their energy cannons melted steel like butter. Their beasts moved faster than tanks and ripped through armored vehicles with claws and fangs. In the first weeks, whole cities burned and thousands of lives were lost. But humans are a strange species. Unlike others the hunters had destroyed, humans did not fight the same way twice. They learned from every failure. They watched carefully, adapted quickly, and struck back with surprising creativity. In a destroyed city in Europe, survivors hid in underground tunnels. Alien hunters patrolled the streets above, confident that the prey was cornered. But in the shadows, a group of engineers and soldiers worked together. They took apart broken alien drones, studied the parts, and rebuilt them into traps. When the hunters returned, the humans lured them into the tunnels, collapsing the ground beneath them and burying them under tons of rock. It was a small victory, but it sent a powerful message. Humans could fight smart. In North America, fighter pilots refused to surrender the skies. Though their jets were slower and weaker than alien crafts, they used daring maneuvers the hunters could not predict. Flying low between skyscrapers, weaving through mountains, and even using storm clouds for cover, the pilots struck where the aliens least expected. One squadron managed to destroy a massive alien warship by guiding it into a lightning storm. The humans celebrated that night, not just because of the victory, but because it proved the invaders were not invincible. Across Asia, resistance grew stronger every day. Farmers turned tractors into armored vehicles. Villagers used hidden caves as storage for food and weapons. Entire communities worked as one, refusing to kneel. In one famous battle, a single village held off a squad of alien beasts for 3 days, using nothing but fire, spears, and determination. The hunters lost more warriors there than they had expected, and their arrogance began to crack. In Africa, ancient hunting skills returned with new purpose. Tribes who had tracked lions and elephants for generations now tracked alien hunters. They moved silently through deserts, striking at night, using terrain the aliens could not understand. A single spear in the right place brought down a beast larger than a car. Stories spread quickly and the aliens began to whisper among themselves. This prey does not fear us. But the most dangerous human weapon was not fire, steel, or machines. It was the human mind. In hidden laboratories deep underground, scientists worked day and night, studying captured alien technology. They discovered weaknesses. The alien armor, though strong, was vulnerable to certain frequencies of sound. Their communication systems could be jammed with modified human radios. Their energy weapons overheated if forced to fire continuously. Piece by piece, the hunters' secrets were uncovered. Soon, resistance fighters began to use these discoveries. Modified sound weapons confused alien beasts, making them attack their own masters. Jamming devices cut off alien soldiers from their command ships. And stolen alien weapons, turned against the invaders, gave humans new firepower. The hunters were not used to this. On every other planet, resistance had crumbled quickly. But here, every battle seemed to make the humans stronger. For every city the aliens destroyed, 3 more resistance groups rose from the ashes. For every soldier they killed, 10 more picked up arms in their place. One alien commander watched the battles unfold and began to understand. They are not like the others, he said to his officers. These creatures fight for more than survival. They fight for each other. They fight for revenge. The hunters had always believed themselves to be the top predators of the galaxy. But now, for the first time, they felt something unfamiliar. Loss. In one daring mission, humans managed to board a damaged alien ship. It was the first time humans had taken the fight into space. Armed with stolen weapons and courage, they stormed the vessel, disabling its engines and bringing it crashing down into the ocean. The explosion lit up the night sky, and across the world people cheered. It was proof. The hunters could bleed, but this was only the beginning. Humanity's victories were small compared to the scale of the alien invasion. Whole continents still suffered under the hunters' control. Millions lived in fear, and yet hope had returned. The hunters began to realize something terrifying. Their prey was no longer running. Their prey was no longer hiding. Their prey was learning, adapting, striking back with growing strength, and the most frightening thought of all. What if this prey decided not just to defend itself, but to hunt the hunters in return? The war was changing. The hunters had come to Earth with arrogance, believing it would be an easy victory. But humans had shown them something they had never seen before. Resilience. And resilience was more dangerous than any weapon. The predators now faced a new reality. Earth was no longer the hunted ground. Earth was becoming the battlefield where hunters themselves would be tested, and somewhere, in the heart of every human, a new thought was rising. If they can come to our world and hunt us, why can't we follow them back to theirs? The war had burned for months. Cities lay in ruins, skies filled with smoke, and oceans echoed with battles. The hunters still held the upper hand, but something was changing. Slowly, quietly, humans were beginning to turn the tide. It began with whispers in the underground, a rumor that scientists had cracked alien technology. At first, no one believed it. Alien machines were too advanced, too strange, too far beyond human science. But the rumors proved true. In a hidden facility deep beneath the mountains, a group of scientists and engineers worked on the wreckage of a fallen alien ship. They studied its weapons, its engines, its armor. It was unlike anything humans had built. But with every hour of work, secrets were revealed. The first breakthrough was small, but powerful. Energy cells from alien rifles could be recharged with human power grids. This meant captured weapons could keep firing, not just once, but again and again. Soon, resistance fighters all over the world began arming themselves with alien firepower. The second breakthrough was even greater. Alien armor, once thought to be unbreakable, had a weakness. A specific frequency of human-made explosives could tear through it. Ordinary rockets, when adjusted with the right chemical mix, could pierce alien shields. For the first time, human armies faced the invaders with weapons that could truly kill. The hunters noticed. Battles that were once simple hunts became costly wars. Alien commanders grew frustrated. Their beasts fell to traps. Their soldiers were ambushed with their own weapons. Their ships were struck down by missiles guided with hacked alien codes. In South America, one resistance group pulled off a daring raid. Using stolen alien rifles and hacked communication signals, they infiltrated an alien outpost. For hours, the hunters thought the humans were one of their own squads. By the time they realized the truth, it was too late. The humans had stolen crates of advanced weapons and destroyed the outpost from within. It was a victory that shook the galaxy's so-called predators. But the real turning point came in Asia. There, human scientists discovered a way to override alien drones. With modified radio towers, they hijacked the machines and turned them against their masters. Entire alien patrols were slaughtered by their own drones, and the invaders realized Earth's prey was no longer prey at all. Everywhere, victories multiplied. In Europe, captured alien tanks were repaired and rolled into battle, crushing the very soldiers who had once commanded them. In Africa, resistance leaders coordinated with scientists, combining ancient hunting wisdom with alien weapons, creating traps even the smartest predators could not escape. The hunters had never faced an enemy like this. Their strategy had always been the same: strike hard, spread fear, crush resistance quickly. But humans were unpredictable. They refused to break. Every defeat became a lesson. Every loss became fuel for revenge. Alien commanders began to argue among themselves. Some believed Earth should be abandoned, that the prey was too costly to kill. Others demanded stronger measures, insisting that if they unleashed their full power, humanity would finally collapse. But something deeper worried them. In every other world, prey had always run, always begged for mercy, always died quietly. But humans were chasing them back. One night, above the ruins of a great city, a legendary battle took place. An alien warship descended to crush the last resistance in the region. It unleashed its weapons, burning the ground, turning steel to ash. But the humans had prepared. From hidden tunnels, they launched stolen alien missiles, striking the ship's shields. From rooftops, snipers fired modified rifles into weak points. And from the sky, human jets guided the crippled ship into a trap. The massive vessel, once a symbol of alien dominance, fell in flames into the heart of the city it came to destroy. The explosion was seen for miles. That night the world celebrated. It was more than a battle. It was proof. Proof that the hunters could fall. Proof that humans could win. But victory came with a heavy cost. Thousands died in the fighting and entire regions were reduced to rubble. Yet for every tear shed there was also pride. Pride that Earth had stood its ground against a power greater than anything it had faced before. The hunters retreated from several territories, pulling back their forces to regroup. For the first time in history, the predators of the galaxy had been forced to retreat by their prey. In their command ships, alien leaders spoke in hushed tones. "This planet is dangerous," one said. "These humans are not like the others." Another replied, "If we do not end them now, they will become a threat to us all." They were right. For the humans had crossed a line. No longer were they only defending their world. They were learning to strike back. Whispers spread among the resistance. "If we can use their weapons here, what stops us from taking the fight into space?" The turning point had come. The hunters had started a game they thought they could not lose. But now they realized the prey they had chosen was unlike any other. Humanity was rising, stronger with every battle, sharper with every wound, and in the dark halls of alien warships, fear, real fear, began to grow because the hunters had awakened something they could not control. Earth had teeth, and soon it would bite back harder than they ever imagined. The hunters had always believed the galaxy belonged to them. For centuries, they had moved from world to world, crushing every species they found. But Earth had changed everything. What began as a simple hunt had turned into a war. What began as easy prey had become a nightmare. And now, the unthinkable was happening. The hunters were being hunted. The turning point had shaken the invaders. Alien warships had fallen. Their beasts had been slain. Their weapons, once unmatched, were now in human hands. And everywhere whispers spread, humans are fighting back. And they are winning. At first, the alien commanders believed retreat was temporary. They pulled back to regroup to strike harder. But the humans did not give them time. Instead of waiting, humans chased them. Resistance leaders across the world came together for the first time. Soldiers, scientists, survivors, even ordinary farmers and workers, everyone united under a single purpose. Don't just defend Earth, take the fight to them. In secret bases, human engineers rebuilt captured alien ships. They worked night and day, fusing human creativity with alien technology. Engines once impossible to understand now roared with human pilots at the controls. Weapons that once destroyed cities now pointed outward, ready to fire at their makers. The first human-led strike outside Earth shocked the galaxy. A squadron of stolen alien ships flown by human pilots ambushed a hunter fleet near the edge of the solar system. The hunters never expected prey to leave its planet. But when the battle ended, wreckage of alien ships floated lifeless in space, while humans returned home victorious. This was more than war, it was reversal. Allies began to appear. For years, the hunters had enslaved or destroyed other species across the stars. But when news spread that humans had stood against them, hope ignited. Across the galaxy, small rebel groups rose. Some sent messages to Earth offering alliance. Others joined battles directly, providing knowledge of the hunters' weaknesses. For the first time, the predators were surrounded not by silence, but by resistance. And humanity led the charge. In Africa, resistance leaders sent forces into space for the first time, guiding alien ships with ancient hunting wisdom. They tracked enemy fleets like they once tracked lions, striking fast and vanishing before the hunters could respond. In Europe, massive underground factories worked in secret, turning wrecked alien machines into hybrid weapons. Tanks powered by alien energy rolled into battle. Rifles that once belonged to predators now burned in human hands. In Asia, human hackers and scientists combined their skills, shutting down entire alien fleets with virus attacks that spread through their communication systems. Ships drifted helplessly in space, easy prey for human pilots waiting to strike. Even in the farthest villages, ordinary people joined the reversal. Farmers set traps for beasts in the fields. Fishermen used their boats to carry resistance fighters across seas, striking alien camps in surprise. Every man, woman, and child carried the same fire inside: we are not prey. The hunters could no longer deny the truth. They were losing, but pride kept them fighting. In their council chambers aboard massive warships, commanders shouted at one another. Some demanded total destruction of Earth, burn every city, scorch every ocean, erase the humans completely. Others warned that such rage would only bring more defeat. The humans, meanwhile, pressed forward. Battles moved beyond Earth. Human ships followed the hunters to their colonies on nearby moons, striking where they least expected. One by one, alien outposts fell. The hunters' once mighty empire was crumbling, piece by piece, under the hands of those they had once called prey. The galaxy watched in awe. No species had ever done this. No prey had ever turned the hunt around. For the first time, predators were running. One alien officer, wounded and defeated, whispered words that spread like wildfire. "We thought we hunted them, but it is us who are hunted now." And it was true. Humanity showed no mercy to invaders. Every captured weapon became a tool of resistance. Every victory became fuel for the next battle. Every loss only hardened their resolve. The hunters had come expecting an easy kill. Instead, they had awakened a species that refused to bow. The most shocking moment came when humans launched their first large-scale counterattack. Hundreds of stolen and rebuilt alien ships, guided by human pilots, stormed a massive enemy fleet above Earth's orbit. The battle lasted hours. Explosions lit up the night sky. Cities below watched in silence as the heavens burned. When it ended, human ships still stood. The hunters retreated, leaving wreckage behind. The world cheered. For the first time in history, humans controlled the skies above their planet. But humanity's eyes were no longer fixed only on Earth. Leaders spoke words that carried across the world. We are safe only if they are no longer free to hunt. The decision was made. Earth would not simply defend itself. Earth would carry the fight to the hunter's home. The prey had become the predator, and as human fleets prepared to launch into deep space, a single truth echoed across every corner of Earth and every rebel colony in the galaxy. The hunt has been reversed. The predators were running, and there was nowhere left to hide. The war had spread far beyond Earth. Human fleets now sailed through the stars, carrying weapons once used against them, now turned upon their enemies. The hunters, once proud rulers of countless worlds, were falling back. Their empire was cracking, their colonies burning, their armies scattered. What no species had ever achieved before, humanity had done. They had turned the galaxy's greatest predators into prey. But the war was not over. The hunters still had one stronghold left, their homeworld, a planet of black stone and crimson skies. From there, their High Council ruled, and from there, new fleets still launched. To end the hunt forever, humanity knew what had to be done. The heart of the predator had to fall. The journey was long and dangerous. Human fleets, joined by rebel allies from other enslaved worlds, crossed into enemy territory. Along the way, battles erupted. Alien ships fought desperately to protect their home, but one by one they were defeated. Human determination could not be broken. The hunters had chased Earth once. Now Earth was chasing them back. Finally, the human armada reached the predator world. It was a dark place covered in massive fortresses and towers that reached into the blood-red sky. Rivers of molten fire cut through the land. It was a world built for war. For centuries, no species had dared approach it. But now human ships filled its orbit ready to strike. The battle began with fire. Human weapons, alien weapons, and stolen fleets rained destruction across the planet's defenses. Alien cannons thundered back, filling space with deadly light. For hours the heavens burned. The hunters fought with desperation, but their fear betrayed them. On the ground, resistance fighters stormed the fortresses. Side by side with alien rebels who had once been enslaved, humans charged through the dark halls of the Predator's citadel. Every corner echoed with battle. Every wall shook with explosions. At last, the human vanguard reached the heart of the stronghold, the council chamber. There, the alien leaders waited, armored and proud, but broken in spirit. Their arrogance was gone. Their empire was ashes. And before them stood humans, the very prey they had once laughed at. The chamber was silent. For the first time in their history, the hunters were the ones facing judgment. One of the alien counselors hissed, "Why do you fight so hard? We hunted you as we hunted all. It is the way of the galaxy." The human commander stepped forward. His armor was scorched, his face marked by battle, but his voice was steady. "No," he said. "It was your way. But your way ends today," the counselor growled. "Then finish it. Kill us as you killed our armies. Show the galaxy you are no better than us." For a moment, silence hung heavy in the air. The humans could end it all in that instant. With one command, they could wipe out the hunters' leaders and destroy their world completely. The galaxy would be free of them forever. But the human commander raised his weapon and lowered it. "We are not like you," he said. "We do not hunt the innocent. We fight only when we must. This war began because you forced it on us. But it will end with our choice, not yours." Gasps filled the chamber. The hunters expected death. They expected revenge. Instead, they were given something they had never understood: mercy. But mercy came with a warning. The commander's voice echoed like thunder. "You will never hunt again. Not here, not anywhere. If you raise your weapons against the innocent once more, humanity will return. And next time, there will be no mercy." The counselors lowered their heads. For the first time in their long history, predators bowed. Outside, the galaxy watched. Word spread quickly. Humans had defeated the hunters not only with strength, but with honor. Species that had once hidden in fear now rose in pride, inspired by Earth's victory. The age of the hunters was over. As the human fleets left the predator world, the stars seemed different. Brighter. Free. On Earth, survivors rebuilt their homes. Cities rose again from the ashes. Families returned to the lands that had burned. Across the world, people carried scars of war, but also a new strength. They had faced the greatest predators of the galaxy and won. Humanity was no longer just another species on a small blue planet. Humanity was now a force the galaxy would never forget. And though peace returned, one truth remained. Whispered in every corner of Earth and every free world across the stars: if anyone dares hunt humans again, the hunt will be reversed.